from your app store. And never miss a Talk 1470 AM, 95.3 FM minute. Talk 1470 is WWNN Pompano Beach and 95.3 FM W237BD Boca Raton, the Health and Wealth Radio Network.
You can become independently healthy, and I'll tell you how. Dr. Bob Martin here. If you want to feel, function, and perform the very best you can, please tune in and call into my show Sunday mornings at 10 on Talk 1470 WNN.
Talk health, talk wealth, talk politics, talk 1470 and 95.3 FM WNN.
Times are tough, and right now those in the commercial world know that being heard via advertisements is the name of the game. AmpSquare.tv understands how important advertisement is and is proud to express that it's truly the only plugged-in internet television production company on the market. Amp2.tv live streams all their shows across all the major selling markets in the U.S. and abroad. Call them at 866-224-5422. The AmpSquare.tv library allows productions to be seen over and over again, making commercial platforms more usable. Call 866-224-5422. Toll free 866-224-5422. Amp2.tv, the first and only internet television network that's truly plugged in. 866-224-5422. That's AMP2.TV. The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
Hi, and welcome to another edition of Wake Up America with Christina Lynn. I'm your host, and I'm here tonight, as always, to help you open your eyes and see the truth. Many things have changed in our world, and this is a show where you're going to get to talk to some of the experts. You're going to get to hear from people that are on the cutting edge. You're going to get to see the things that are really going on that maybe you don't get to hear every day on the news. This is the show that's going to bring it to you right away. So stay tuned, because we have got an amazing guest tonight, someone that you will not believe is going to knock your socks off. Wake Up America starts right now. Hi there, and good evening, and welcome to another edition of Wake Up America. I'm your host, Christina Lynn, and as always, we're going to be looking at some amazing subjects tonight, and talking to some very fascinating people. So first and foremost, every week when we come on, and I always know that I get a lot of feedback from my audience that they love to hear about who I'm going to dedicate the show to, as I do each week. And this week, I am dedicating it to all of the first responders and the brave teachers and coaches that are taking care of the children at our schools, and that are helping to step up, and that stepped up at Parkland and are doing that all over the country. So I just want to again salute them. Thank you all. God bless you all for putting your lives on the line and for all that you have done. And also, it's just great to know that one of the students today has come out of the hospital. She's a lovely lady that is on the news now and has recuperated and is still alive. So we're just saying God bless her, and sending out positive vibes to all the schools and all the teachers. And I know they're talking now about should we arm our teachers? So I'd like to hear from some of you all. Please let us know. Do you think that teachers should actually be packing a gun? Has it come to that? And what do you feel we can do to really protect our students and protect our schools? So we're going to look at that, but I do want to say that God bless those first responders that were there, that stood up, that put their lives on the line to make such a big difference. All right, and also moving on from that, I do want to say too, on a very positive note, that here in Boca Raton, which is of course where our show originates, I am so happy to say that it's one of the wonderful times of the year again, where we're having the Boca Arts Festival. And again, just want to shout out to all the wonderful folks that are helping to put on that great event. We have some amazing people. Bill Murray will be here, and Isaac Perlman, so many great artists and entertainers. And Mr. Haas is going to be here, that's doing a lot of work in the government. He's going to be lecturing tonight. So just want to say, please take advantage. If you're in the Boca Raton area, I told the organizers that I would say how fantastic, and really give a positive endorsement, take the time. The tickets are very reasonable. It's a great opportunity to give back to your community and to get involved a little bit more in the Boca Raton area. And even if you're in Palm Beach or Fort Lauderdale, come on over to Boca and enjoy the amazing arts festival. It's fantastic. I'll be covering some things the next few nights and bringing some new guests from the festival, so it's really exciting. All right, so as we move ahead now, I do not want to delay because I have one of my favorite guests here tonight, none other than Masa Sajadi. Masa is a fascinating man. He had an amazing several death experiences and found that after that he really was blessed with special powers. Amazing new things happened to him after these experiences. So we're going to talk more to him tonight and find out what he's got coming up. Some of you all might enjoy being on his website and listening out to him too as he shares the knowledge that he's picked up. He's really an amazing man. We were just together at the Conscious Life Expo in Los Angeles, and he's extraordinary. So, Masa, let's see, are you there with us now?
I am. Christina, how are you?
Fantastic. Welcome back to the show. I am doing great, and you sound wonderful. And as always, it's a real treat to have you on the show. So,
it's my honor. It's so fun with you.
Oh, well, thank you so much. Well, as I was seeing at the Conscious Life Expo, you were so busy. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. You just really, I'm glad you have Faye, who's your coordinator, and she was really helping keep things along with all of your team that was helping out. So I want to just ask you, I've got some great questions tonight. And, of course, if any of you want to call in and ask a question to Masa, we can have that happen. Just dial 888-565 1470. So again, that's 888-565-1470 if you have any questions for Masa. And Masa, I've got some questions. So I would like to first of all begin by asking you, again, if you would just kind of give us a little background of how some of the things happened to you with the death experience and how this changed your life and your abilities and how you've utilized that to change other people's lives for the better.
Right. Sure. So as people call in, I can read you as well, see what's going on with you. Not only read you, see what's going on, but then also edit your programming to help you change your life.
Great. So if you want to get a little reading from Masa, he's amazing, and he's so accurate. He can do an energy type reading if you want to call for that. Okay, sure. Excuse me, Masa. So yeah, please, Masa, go ahead and tell us a little bit more about how this came about, your great gifts that you have.
Okay. Well, there's a lot of people who have near-death experiences. 1,000 a day actually documented near deaths in the U.S. alone. So the difference between me and everybody else, from what I'm seeing, is that I was really groomed. So those two near deaths that I had, the first one, I was literally just hanging from my neck, in a warehouse accident. The second one was a drowning. The second one, the big difference is that, people go through the tunnel of light. The first one,
right,
the introductory layer, you see, people claim that they see their loved ones introducing them or, ushering them in. And then there's another layer, where you come in and it's a higher layer where you have a life review. I actually see it as a life relive. You actually get to relive your life the way it should have been from a higher order. So you see why all those things that happened to you, the I should have, I could have, why did God forsake me type situations, you get to see it from a clear perspective so you can grow from it and then you can ascend. But in that second near death, I went through the tunnel of light. Now, usually when you go through the tunnel of light, it's actually just a graduation process. Basically, it's a clearinghouse for spirits, and it's to, say, accommodate them into that, the spirit world. I went through that, and you're not supposed to come back. In my case, I not only came back, but I brought the abilities that, say, you have at spirit level, because we all have these abilities. I'm no different than any of you guys. Actually, I just understand our abilities or understand who we truly are from just a different perspective. So, I went into what I call, that space where you see timeless love. If you multiply any level of love that you've had here by about 1 million times, that's the level of love that you feel up there.
Amazing.
And there's no... Yeah, it's so gorgeous. It's the most beautiful thing ever. And it's truly unconditional love. I mean, you just are. You just exude it, and you don't need anything, including love, because you are love. But I said even past that. I call it the beautiful blue space, and in some religions they actually talk about that space that I went into, where you lose all definition of like human form, because spirit doesn't have any form, anything. You just are, and there you have access to all the knowledge that ever was, is, and shall be in the future, because it's a timeless space.
Okay, and there is no time, right? There's no past, present, future there, right?
No, not at that level. But although we need it here, just like Einstein said, if it wasn't for space time, everything would happen at once. So,
right.
So that's why we need it here. But yeah, so what I've done is again managed to pull all that knowledge down and live from it here, and that's why some people tell me that I have superhuman abilities to help shift people into having an extraordinary life, no matter what issues they might have, cancers, or people starting to walk, or people starting to have fantastic relationships, or just that general sense of well-being. Again, guys, I'm not saying I'm a doctor or anything like that. I awaken your own natural self, and that's where you get to heal yourself. So again, I don't cure anybody. I just awaken you, just like the way I got awakened. So.
Well, that's why it's so great to have you on Wake Up America. You're helping people to wake up and to awaken those things. Yes. That's great. Oh, that's wonderful. Well, fantastic. And, I know a lot of people are wondering, a lot of the audience members have even written in and asked, too. They wanted to know that, well, first of all, how is it that you began to realize after that second death experience that things had changed, and what was that like? So many of them were wanting to understand what your experience was, because you are such an extraordinary person.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And that's really the key, Kristian, is that it's not like you just decide. It's not a conscious decision at all.
Right.
You just are. Just like the thousands of people that I've helped across the world, they don't decide. They don't decide to do, okay, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z, from the outside in. It's nothing like that. When you awaken, you just are, and your world changes around you. And that's why what I do is called exponential intelligence. By the way, my podcast is Exponential Intelligence, if you want to understand the science behind it all. But you start to be who you are. Your environment changes. So it's really not a decision. It's not like, okay, I decide to do this, but you get drawn to do it because that's your highest potential for you. And that's how you become, again, healthy. You become wealthy. You become, fantastic relationships that you might have never experienced before. Way beyond anything that you've dreamed of.
Wow, you're so articulate with this. I mean, that to me is one of the best expressions of exactly what people would experience with you, because I have been really blessed to work with you, and it's just extraordinary. So I love how you articulated that, and how you articulated what happened with you after and during these amazing experiences of your life. And now
look at your life, Christina. I mean, you don't have to get into the details, but do you notice that you just change and you just are? Rather than, okay, I got to do this to, say, be happy. I got to do this to be successful. No, you just run patterns of being successful and run patterns of being happy. I mean, for you, it's just that general sense of well-being,
Yes.
Knowing. So, and it just comes in. So,
it does.
You, what did you do, or did it just happen to you once your spirit came to you closer, or came into you closer? That's the difference, right?
Yeah, and I love that. That's just so wonderful, because I know people are always reaching out and saying, why are you so happy, and how can I be happy? What can I do? So many people are on this world are searching now, and we are in a time, as I said, I dedicated the show tonight to the first responders and to the teachers and students. And, unfortunately, there are incidences, as we know, Masa, that are going on in this world, and a lot of it's very fear-based. So, again, as we're reaching out, what would you say to people that are searching, that are looking? What would want to help them open up to come to you, or someone that does the work like you do?
Sure, or even like listen to your radio show, is that this moment in history has never been before. And I say that, I mean, everybody says that, over and over again. But if you look at it, those people who have said it, say, in the past before me, the same actions of history have been repeated. They've been repeated wars, they've been repeated abuse, they've been school shootings over and over. But this time around, the reason why it's different, because I see it from a higher perspective, is that, and it may get worse. I'll just say it like it is. But the reason being is that people start to awaken at a level, and they go, wow, my religions, the concepts of my parents' paradigm, the social structure, the finance structure, whatever it is not working. There's got to be something else. We weren't here to suffer. We weren't here to destroy ourselves. Nothing like that. So all those things that we've done for thousands of years, it's like, okay, it's not working. What's coming in? I want to be more, and that really, like, making people crave that deeper sense. And that's why people like me, people like you, other people around the world are coming up and going, hey, this is the new paradigm that we're going through.
Right. Well, that's beautifully put. And, it's so important for us to keep inspiring everyone, like you were saying, Mas, to let people know things are going to get better. Hang in there. I know there's a golden age coming. And, I think another thing, too, is that, and you had mentioned, too, that you're working more and more with leaders around the world, political leaders and leaders of many different business and all kinds of things. And I'm seeing, too, that leadership is important, so important. And so what could you say about how important it is? I'm feeling there are going to be some shifts with leadership coming. And that we have that to look forward to. How do you feel about that, Mas?
Right. Leadership in the past, whether it's a company leadership or political leadership, basically they're fear-based and they're control-based, right? So out of fear, they want to control to be successful, no matter what country you look at or no matter what company you look at. It's fear-based. It's based out of control. This new paradigm, I call it the new business paradigm, although it can be used, politically as well, is that where you can expand yourself to a level where you're not fearful of losing, say, your identity, or fearful of losing control. Okay, that's the old paradigm. So what you do, and this is why I like to work with higher-level individuals, CEOs, people who are in control, because just think of it, Christina, if you change their reality.
Yes.
Right? And this is a pure reality, right? Because this reality, you don't have to control, you don't have to suppress anybody to make, say, goals, your company goals. Nobody has to suffer. The environment doesn't have to suffer. Again, nothing has to suffer when you're coming from a pure source perspective, as I call it. So you awaken a CEO. That trickles down because a company's health, right, or personality is really based on the leader of that company. So you build that individual, it trickles down, even down to their lowest level employee. They're a happy employee, and that's how you change the world, right? So it's a top-down model, and it's not about control. They actually want to, say, serve you or create the best product, or when they're at work, they want to be their optimum because they enjoy being with that company, not just because of a paycheck, because they get more of a spiritual benefit out of it. That's the exchange. The new paradigm is about exchanging spiritual significance or healing people at a spirit-based, like awakening people.
Right.
It's already happening. You've noticed a lot of people, like salespeople. It's like, I just bought from that salesperson because he was such a nice guy, because it actually, say, nourished your soul, nourished your spirit. So I'm talking that, but at a much grander scale.
It makes you feel good. It makes you feel happy. And, I always believe that old saying, my grandmother used to teach us this, and my mother, and it said, if the world gives you lemons, turn it into lemonade. I'm just, luckily I'm a real optimist myself, and I look to all the joy and happiness in the world. And that's something that I love to, to convey here on the show, is that you can be happy. You can have the best. It is there. And so, Mas, people, I just highly recommend everyone that's listening, reach out, go to Masa's website. He's got some fabulous opportunities on the website. And if you could get that wonderful opportunity, you can work with him over the phone. You can even work with him in person. And so would you do me a favor and tell our audience, please, again, if you'll say that twice, your website where everyone can go so they can contact you, and then how they can also contact you or reach out to Faye or anyone so that they can work with you individually or through, your online podcast and pod classes. You've got some great things on your website that I know I've really benefited from. So if you'll give everybody that information.
Yeah, it's the website is Masajady, MASSAJADY.com. So MASSAJADY.com. The podcast, Free Exponential Intelligence. A lot of good stuff on there for you. Again, the logistics, the science behind what I do, because it's not just about love. It's not just about, all the old paradigm of, say, spirituality and all that. It's just like pure science, and it actually works.
Right, and that's the exciting thing is that it is there. And now you on your contact page, if they want to reach out and make a call, can they just see your number, or would you like to share a number or an email with us as well?
Email, you can go to customer with an S, at masajady.com. But there's a form if you just go to the website, you can sign up for, any of the classes. There's a lot of free stuff that we do.
Yes.
There's a whole free library just for you to get into it and get introduced to it.
Right.
See if you like it. And if you don't, that's fine too, whichever way.
Well, you have a wonderful website. And again, there are classes, there are free opportunities. I just, I love to network. I love to share. When I have had someone like you, Mas, that has come into my life and touched my life and helped me so much, I love to share that with as many people as we can.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're so welcome. Well, thank you. And I hope that you'll be back down to Florida again. And I know you're touring a lot. Any tours, local tours, or anything around the country coming up that you might want to mention?
I'll be in New York City.
Great.
In about 2 weeks. Again, it's all on the website. New York City.
Right.
I'll be in the UK. I'll be in France. I'll be in Australia. Pretty much all over the world.
Fantastic. You are truly healing the world, one person and groups of people at a time, and it's just amazing. So thank you so much for all the work that you do.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're amazing. You really are. And I just look forward to having you on again, and we're going to keep in touch. And I'm going to have all this on my website so people can reach out as well. So, Mas, thanks again for coming on the show, and we'll look forward to having you back on Wake Up America really soon. Okay?
Thanks.
All right. Thanks so much, and we'll talk to you soon. All right. So that was an amazing interview with Masajady. Do go to his website and take advantage of the free classes, the library. There's so much there. Expand your minds. And it's always wonderful to learn something new. I have a dear friend of mine. He said, I always want to learn something new every day. So we're often giving you great opportunities to do that. And I have another very interesting guest now that's coming to us from Philadelphia, the home of the Eagles and big Super Bowl champs. So I have a lovely dear friend of mine who's just a really fascinating lady. This is Barbara Cain. Barbara, hello, and welcome to Wake Up America.
Hi, Kristian. Thank you so much for having me on.
Well, it's a real honor, and I know you have told me that you are a fan of the show, which I always love that, and I appreciate it. And just want to say that it's great to have you. It's your first visit on the show and first interview, and we're just going to go right into a few important things. Now, Barbara, you are a very strong psychic. And you do a lot of things to help people as well with the great gift you have. Tell me, if you will, I know the audience always likes to hear, how did you find out that you had this gift? And what would you like to tell people that might even help them understand it a little better?
The first time that I realized I had this gift, I was actually on a train. I was around 12 and a half years old. And all of a sudden, I felt pain, and I saw a vision of my favorite cousin, Bobby. And I jumped off the train, and I called home, and I said, what happened to Bobby? And at the time I felt the pain, he was hunting with his son. The gun actually went off and killed him accidentally.
Oh, my gosh. I'm so sorry that was one of the first things that you experienced. But
that was the first time I really, really got that true message. I always had little incidents when I was very young, and I would overlook it and not really, put too much into it. I was a very young child. But at the age of 12, it came to me, I had a gift. And at the age of 14, I started studying. And I started to take up meditation, relaxation.
Yes. Wonderful.
Starting to read books about the tarot. And then I went on to college and let things just go on. I'd use my spirituality to help my friends to do tarot readings just for fun. And then it got to be something that I can really, really help people. So I went to college and I studied drug and alcohol, and I became a therapist. And I continued on studying my tarot. I took up yoga. I'm a Reiki master.
You have so many talents, Barbara. I have to say, hats off. You really are a true Renaissance woman, I must say.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yes. Now, unfortunately, we don't have a lot of time, but I do want to say that my show is going to be expanding. We're going to be moving to Thursday nights coming up very soon, so watch our website. And, Barb, I'm going to have you back, Barbara. Barbara Cain is amazing, and we will have her give out her information in just a few minutes. But I have another question, really, with a brief answer. If you will tell me, what is the best way, Barbara? People will say to me, and I, of course, had some great experiences, but people have said, I'm a little nervous. I don't know how to choose a good psychic. How can someone know that they're choosing a good, reliable, good, positive psychic that they can work with? I know, of course, we can get word of mouth, but what would you recommend that people should look for? Because I think that's very important.
When sitting with the psychic, the first thing she does is to clear you. Mm-hmm. She relaxes you.
Yes.
She uses anything like Florida water. She sages you. She clears you. And then we both meditate together to bring the spirituality as one.
You're very, very spiritual. Okay, well, Barbara, will you give out your number now? This is how we can reach Barbara Cain, and I'll have it on the website as well. Barb, your best number is what?
The best number to reach me is 267-673-3432.
Fantastic. Well, Barb, we're going to have you back on real soon. Thank you so much for being with us from beautiful Philadelphia. And now I'm Christina Lynn. I'm your host at Wake Up America. And I just want to say we will be in touch about our change of Thursday nights at 9. But until then, keep waking up, keep looking for the truth, and stay happy and healthy. We'll see you next time right here on Wake Up America. Bye-bye. Well, that's about all we have time for tonight. But I want to thank you all for listening. We've got a fantastic and really loyal audience that wants to wake up. Wake Up America is your show. Be sure and tune in next week right here at 6 o'clock on WNN with me, Christina Lynn, and with some of the most outspoken and outstanding guests that you can ever hear on radio. Until then, just reach out to wakeupamerica.com. Let me know what you think. We want to hear your comments, and we want to make sure and have you come join us on Facebook and Twitter. Thanks again. Have a great week, and we'll see you next week. Remember to wake up and look for the truth. And you do make a difference. One person can change this world. So wake up, speak up, and America will see you next week right here on Wake Up America.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its hosts, guests, and callers, and not